Charlie Velasquez here from Rugby and Further and Tifro. This is a special night. I'm at Boca with Mr. John Devonport or Devonport. You want to clear that up? How your name is pronounced?
It's Devonport, D-E-V-O-N.
Okay.
Yeah. But 90% of people call it Davenport because it's...
There you go. John is the president currently of Boca.
Yep.
Boca Men's.
4 years now, yeah.
And you've done everything, right? Let's just start from the beginning. Ross is always saying, "Oh, my dad, he played high-level rugby." What was that? Tell us about your high-level rugby in your days.
I went to London in '66 and I joined Wasps.
I was in London in '66. Can you believe that?
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I played for a junior club and then I got recruited to play for Wasps, and I played there from '67 to '80. I squeezed a last year in.
That's
initially as a number 8, but when I got to 30, they put me in the second row, just to squeeze another 2 seasons out of me.
Some amazing memories you must have there, right?
Oh, it is.
I mean, we're not going to go over them right now, but maybe sometime really worthwhile.
Well, I'm off to London in 3 weeks for the 155th dinner of the club. Shows you we go every 5 years, and players come from all over the world, Canada, Australia, and to get together for a dinner, and it's quite a history. Yeah, great club.
So you came here to the States at what age?
I was 45, I guess.
45.
Yeah, and
you said what year was it, more or less?
92. Yeah, virtually last week, I think it was. Yeah. And I fully expecting to have nothing to do with rugby. So did my wife. And I said that's the end of rugby, but I found Boca Raton Rugby Club. First Saturday I was here, so I said, "You go shopping."
Guy, yeah?
And Bing Tarn, who was a great mentor.
Because back then there was no internet, so you couldn't just search.
You couldn't search.
So you were really lucky.
I was. I met up with the American team in the World Cup in
a little bit here.
The World Cup in '91, because we had a Wasp play for the USA, Mark Williams, and I spent a lot of time with the US squad. And out of that, they invited me to go to their meeting here in Boca. So I started doing a bit of coaching with FAU that was starting that year, and a bit with Boca, and then I refereed until I got rather injured.
Oh, really? Doing refereeing?
I was in the way of a rolling more.
In the wrong place at the
wrong place, wrong time. Yeah, so that finished that, and so I did some referee coaching, referee following. So with some good of the younger guys like Cisco and Khalil and one or two others. Very rewarding.
You did pretty well, I would say.
I didn't want to do the analysis, but I could do the coaching. So and Lex Wiener, of course. I was 15, I think. The good old All Florida days. You remember those?
Oh my God!
Wasn't that
they're coming back. I'm always pushing for All Florida days because.
Me too. I think it's a great weekend.
I think it's a great value we have there.
It was an idea that started when I was president of Florida.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Don't ask me what year I was president. I think it was
but some time ago. So you were president for a couple, 4 years, right?
4 years. I did two-year terms before I got maxed out.
Did you start All Florida Day?
Yes, it was during my time. Yes, we did.
Was it your idea?
I can't remember. It was probably a common idea.
You can take it
if
you want.
I wouldn't take the credit for that. But we did start some things in that 4 years. We started coaching courses and then paying for you if you're qualified to get coached. When I took it over, it was bankrupt. We lost 10,000 a year before. No questions about that. So we started, the All Florida Day. We started getting coaches, and we sent coaches to coaching courses in Sebastian. The school system started then, with Taravella.
The high school, okay.
We had 4 high schools with Naples.
And that was under the union still at that time. It was not the Florida Rugby Youth, right?
Yes, it's quite a story to that. So I went to Chicago, and the USA wanted to start youth rugby unions, but they had to be members of the union. So we agreed that Florida Youth Rugby Union would become a member of the Florida Union and supported by the adults. That subsequently broke away, but they got school rugby started, which was great. But it was a good 4 years. I really enjoyed it. And we ended up with some profit, a little bit at the end of it. And
Were there at the time any, like, because this is something we haven't had in a while, like a select side from Florida actually playing some
Another thing
like
we started,
decent games?
Yes, we started a South Florida select and a North Florida select, and they played against each other, and then we played. Life came down, we beat them up in Jacksonville, I think it was, or Daytona, yeah, and then we beat an Australian touring side that came out. So yeah, we did have a lot of select. I believe that if you're going to play better, you're going to play select, you know.
Yeah.
And the North-South thing worked in those days, and we got together from all Florida. We wanted to play Georgia. The idea was to have an exchange each year. I think that should come back. I think we need to push players a little bit, you know.
Aren't you in favor of more like regional activity as opposed to national? Because at the end of the season, we get, one team for each division trying to go to nationals, right?
I believe the whole national concept is a nonsense. I think, you should get the regions right first.
Yeah, but, I think there has to be, it is nice for the winner of the Florida Championship, whatever division, to move on to a, higher level. But just the national concept is...
It's tough. I've been there with Florida. We got to the Final Four in Texas and in Fort Worth. Yeah, the 19 blah, blah, blah. So we've been there. It's very expensive, too, for the club, of course. But I think what we've got to go back to now is getting the regions sorted out, getting the states, playing the Southeast, the USA South that it used to be.
You just mentioned USA South. Tell us a little bit about that program and how you got involved.
When I left
and what it is, because many people just hear about it. What is USA South Panthers?
It started when Florida was a member of USA South, along with the Carolinas, Alabama. Who else was in Tennessee? Yeah, and we had a briefed, as USA South, authorized by USA to control the game in those territories. It finally kind of began to fall apart. Some states didn't want to be part of it. Some states didn't want to contribute it. But what it did do was trigger a representative side. So when USA South disbanded, Kevin Kiddo and myself and Gary Kent and a couple of others, we started the USA South Panthers.
Oh, okay.
And we were invited to play in the Caribbean Championships instead of the USA. So we represented the USA in the Caribbean. And we won one, lost one in a final. We were semi-finalists.
Yeah, you're always up there.
Yeah, we were always up there. Often going to Mexico was a big test because they play us at 8,000 feet. Thank you very much, Mexico. But it was always Mexico or us. So Cayman were a good side too in those days. But that's gone on really from strength. I did 4 years with it. Stepped down, and Gary Kent took over as manager. Kevin's still the chairman of it, but he came out of that USA South, and it was very successful. Now there's an under-19 program and a women's program, and there are links, to Rugby Atlanta, and as you see, a lot of successful players coming through.
It is one of the few opportunities that players have here to go and play at a higher level.
Yes. Well, we were fortunate to be able to play in the Caribbean, so we had games, international games. Since then, of course, they've started representative sides in DC. It's growing. There are more and more. I think the Panthers are playing in it's Nashville in a couple of weeks against a Northwest select side. They started a select, so that's quite a good way to get players playing at a higher level, which is great for the game. And
you are currently president of Boca now.
I am indeed.
You probably have been in the past also.
No, that was Ross Devonport. That was my son.
Ross.
Ross was president before me.
I think I know that guy.
Yeah. Good club to be president of. I mean, I've got a good young board. The whole players are just recently retired, so they run the club. I mean, I just lead the orchestra.
Just sign the checks.
Lead the orchestra. No. I keep them on. I keep them on.
It's been a while since you guys have not won a Florida championship. I mean, we've seen you in the finals, not last year or the year before, but the two last years before, playing the finals. Close games as usual.
Yeah.
You're always up there.
Always up there. We've had quite a few changes of coach. You know, Frank was here for 10 years and very successful.
10 years, well.
Roger Coombs before him. Aile's been 3 years, I think, now coaching us. He's getting into the ethos and the mantra. A lot of new players. And our core players, which a lot of them came from FAU, they're FAU alumni, now beginning to retire. You know, Trini and Teddy Chapman.
Trini will never retire.
No,
I don't see that happening.
No, he threatened another 3 years. After Rand last week, he threatened another 3 years. Fueled by the beer. He doesn't remember it, but
yeah, we'll see. How's the team looking this year? How are you guys?
Well, it's a lot of new players. We've got.
You haven't played a lot, right?
No, we haven't. We were due to play this game in November, but, so we missed that. No, we haven't played at all, really. But then we have this game, and then we start in January against Orlando. So we've got a lot of new players, young players. We've got players who haven't played before, so you've got to teach them. And that's always the difficulty, isn't it, for a coach to balance players who haven't played, and bring them in.
I'm going to be very honest. It always seems to me that clubs are not really progressing as they should. And in this sense, you guys, and not only you guys, everybody, all the men's clubs have been around for 40, 50 years, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know, you would just think that year after year you just get better. And let's say, for example, I'm not sure if you guys don't have a D4 team this year, right?
No.
So
don't have
you would think that every men's team should have a second team, right?
Oh, I agree. And if you had the numbers,
but why doesn't that happen?
Because I think the game's been regressing for 7 or 8 years. I think it's been regressing in numbers. It's been regressing in performance, the games, the skills. I don't think the rugby's as good as it was. That sounds like an old fart, but I think it's been in decline. COVID hasn't helped, of course. But even so, I think it's been in decline, and you can put that down to a lot of things. Levels of coaching, nothing to shoot for after the championship, you know. But occasionally you get teams that come along and prove you different, like West Palm Beach. And Naples have had some good days. Tampa, a few years ago, were very good under Di Morgan, you know, where they went to the Nationals and won it.
Yeah, well, that was 10 years ago.
10 years ago. Yeah, it was. But that was the sort of halcyon days, I think.
Yeah.
And I think it's slipped. We need more coaches, and we need injection of.
I know we have courses tomorrow, right? Here.
Tomorrow and Sunday, level 2 and.
I mean, it is something
3.
of concern, right? To see like rugby is not progressing in so many ways, right? Like the numbers is one thing that.
Numbers, and I was reading an article in a British newspaper today from the Guardian. It's in decline in the UK. 230,000 players, now it's 130,000. The physicality, the injuries, all this sort of thing, you know. And decline in the schools. We have
John, we're gonna cut it short now because this event is gonna start. So, very nice talking to you.
Nice to you, Charlie. Thanks for all you do.
We'll do it again. Thank you.
Ask somebody in a jersey if you don't know what's going on. Otherwise, you just holler, forward pass! He dropped it, and then it'll sound like you know what you're talking about. But there are people along the sideline that'll help you understand what's going on. And again, don't be afraid to ask if everything's okay. And if you're not sure about the answer when they say yes, ask again. And if you're not sure about the answer, ask again. You can help us from never having to do this again. All right? And we miss Maddie. We miss all our teammates. I don't want to do this again. So thank you everybody very, very much for showing up. Miami, thank you for showing up for this benefit match. Lara, I got to talk to you. And then we're getting ready to kick off. So thank you.
I'd like to thank all you guys. My name is Matthew O'Hearn III. That was my son, and we really appreciate everything you guys have done, and God bless you all.
One thing, because of the donations that we've gotten between the O'Hearn family, Citrix, Emo, Titus, and the sales of the jerseys, we managed to raise over $9,000 to It goes towards the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. We'd like to make it 10. We'd like to make it 10. So when we pass around, come around and just dig a little deep and let's see if we can make this a 10 grand donation. Thank you.